we've been talking about would have been a great.
This like, if you want to put the headphones on, we can like start the actual talking portion of this. So what I was gonna say in regards to me sounding arrogant. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Big Dog or Freddy. This is gonna be my good friend Woof.
Hello, everyone.
And today we're gonna be going over just like my macros, but we're gonna be just talking for a little bit for the beginning portion of this segment. And a few moments ago, we were just talking about how up until this last week, I didn't feel my success. I just didn't feel successful. Like I felt successful to a certain degree, but I didn't truly, genuinely feel it. But this last week has been monumental for just my mindset and how I've transitioned into thinking about myself, because there's been a lot of things that fruitioned in regards to like relationships, my content, the way I approached a few interactions in my day-to-day. I really realized like how much of a person I've actually changed into. And that's like genuinely me. Like I did things without even thinking about it. And like, holy shit, me a year ago wouldn't have done that, you know? So the arrogant part that I was going to say that I think could come off as arrogant, but I don't want it to come off as arrogant because I don't think I'm better than people. It's more just like you were saying, confident. And I said cocky earlier, but Wolf said a good point where arrogant and cocky go hand in hand, but confidence is more just like, you know yourself and you trust yourself. So the confident part in myself is, for the last 3 months, I've been telling myself my content quality wise is there. My personality is there. My before and afters are somewhat there, but they will be there in a year and a half. So whenever I'm fully done with this whole process, weight loss wise, the before and after will be there. The content will develop quality wise. My personality will develop over time. So if I just give it time, it'll come.
So,
you know,
that's really interesting. I wonder. So before this point, have you, dude? This is like echoing. Like, is it gonna echo?
It's echoing a little bit, but no. But so it's the earphone feedback that we hear is different from what they hear.
Okay.
Yes.
So did you think about like giving up before this point? Like you're saying this is the first. You're saying this is the first point that you have like actually felt the like fruits of your labor in a sense. So up to this point, not feeling validated like that, did that make you want to quit?
I wouldn't even say I didn't feel validated, because I definitely felt the love from the people that would support me, for sure. The amount of like just love that I get online from the support that people like congratulate me with the weight loss is massive. I love it. I can't appreciate. Thank you guys so much for that. But I think it's more just, I felt very, how would I even phrase it? I felt very, I don't know.
Like overworked, underpaid type of deal?
No, because I like what I'm doing. And that's the thing where you asked, did I almost quit? I almost didn't. I never did.
Okay.
Because I always genuinely have liked what I'm doing. I've been making content for the last decade, on and off, very off. But I've been making videos for the last decade. It's only been about a year and a half since I've been taking it way more seriously. Not seriously, but it's only been a year and a half since I've been doing it consistently. And it's only been about 4 months since I've been taking it more seriously.
Okay. So do you think then this is the first time that you are like, oh shit, like I can do this? Like this is the first time are you getting that feedback? Like I am like actually making progress, making an impact, and that like drive, that new level of drive is being unlocked. Like, are you more motivated to go right now because of the last week's fruitions, like just in your entire life? Because you see, like, it's not like everything's a lattice, right? It's all interconnected. So like when you grow in one field, your confidence from the growth in that field's going to apply to the rest of the fields of your life. And you've been grinding. You're starting to see the success you want on your social media platforms and whatnot. And what do you know? Like now a girl's like into you and like you're into her. And it's like maybe that opportunity has... Maybe that opportunity has always been there. It's just you're at the level now where you're like confident enough in yourself to actually take the risk for the opportunity, and you're seeing that you actually are a pretty capable person. So you're
100%.
So you're like, oh wait, I took the risk and it paid off. And now that's like, oh wait, like that's I think like true coming of age for like men, you know, like when we set out to do something that we want to accomplish, and you start like, maybe you didn't even accomplish it, but you put effort towards it and you see the progression, and that like carries over into everything. Like, and the consistency thing too, right?
I love your outlook, Wolf. I love it so much, dude. You don't, like, for real, because I have so many. You're able to vocalize so many of my thoughts way better than I could. Like what you just said is like you're able. Oh, I love it, bro. I fucking love it. No, but yes. So, you know what? We'll do a little podcast session of this, because why not? This is fun. I love this.
It is kind of fun.
So my up until. Obviously, if you're watching this, you probably know who I am. I used to weigh 615 pounds. I used to be a degenerate. I used to be a degenerate. Just like I was always a very good guy, but I used to eat a ridiculous amount of food and be obese. And because of that, I never had girls pay attention to me. And it wasn't until about 2.5 years ago where I started putting in work, and I've been able to lose over 300 pounds. And up until a year ago, I didn't have any girls pay attention to me for obvious reasons. And it wasn't even because I didn't look good, because I have had girls that be like, oh, you're actually a good looking big guy. And I was like, thank you. But you still probably wouldn't have dated me because I was so big. And they're like, yeah, but you still weren't a bad looking good big guy. But it was a confidence. I didn't have the confidence at all. I had zero. I had, like, maybe not zero, but whenever I would talk to girls, I just was not there. I was not there at all.
Because I would assume like some of them actually did like you even when you were big. You might have just like talked to them, and then like you had the confidence level of that person that you were, and then they were like driven away by that. Exactly.
And it wasn't up until a year ago where I started dating, and I was able to like date around and do that whole scene. And it was... So because I didn't do it up until a year ago, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just like do the whole hookup culture thing. Like I'm just gonna date around, sleep around or something, you know. And it was fun, but it just hasn't been as it's very empty.
Yeah,
very, very empty. And up until recently, so a year ago I started that process, or about a year and a half ago, and throughout the last year and a half I like did that whole thing, and then about 6 months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm ready for something more serious. So then I started actively searching for something a little bit more serious. And I was like, I downloaded the apps and everything again, because I deleted them at the beginning of the year. And it wasn't even 6 months ago. It was like 4.
It also sucks that we have to use like dating apps now, because people are afraid to like meet each other as strangers in public.
And it's so sad. But when you approach a girl, they're automatically on guard. Like it's hard for you to, you know, like it takes for me, I'm able to lower the guard a little easier because if I smile, I'm like, you know, but regardless. Well, so 4 months ago, I downloaded the apps again, and I got back in that mindset of like, it was bad. It was unhealthy. Just like checking the app, you know, like checking it, swiping, that whole process. And then a month and a half ago, I was like, you know what? It's so unhealthy. I need to just focus on my grind again. I deleted the apps. And then 2 weeks later, I met this girl, and you know how that story goes. And actually, you guys don't know how that story goes. So I'll reiterate the story real quick. So about a month ago, I was out with friends, and I ended up going to Whataburger at 3 a.m. And I ran into a high school friend, and me and him used to be friends. And then we caught up at Whataburger, and he was with some girlfriends, and they just started going to the gym. Like they're a week into their gym process, and they're like, "Oh, big dog." Yeah, he watched my TikToks. He's like, you want to come to the gym with us? I was like, yeah, I'm down, big dog. So then I started going to the gym with them. It was him and then 2 of his girlfriends and then me. So it was 4 of us going to the gym every night. And I met the girl that I'm talking to. I wouldn't even say, I guess we are friends at the moment. We're not, there's not a label on it, you know? It's like one of those things.
But there's romantic.
But there's very romantic feelings, yes.
And maybe, it's very mutual. Some actions.
Very, very mutual. Yes, it is. It's nice.
No pressure though. No pressure.
No pressure. Yes.
Not
exactly.
yet.
Take your time. No No, hey, you're my girlfriend right now. None of that. And you know what? Okay, so I'll tell the whole story. So we met about a month ago. A week into us meeting, I told this girl that I would date her. I told her like, hey, I would date you. And when I told her I would date her, she looked at me and said, I think she like giggled a little bit. And she gave me two cop-out answers. She said she didn't want to ruin the friend group because she's never had a friend group like this. And she thinks that she deserves somebody more on my level. And when she said that, I was like, okay, she's obviously not interested in me like that. So I literally told her this. I heard all I need to hear. I heard all I need to hear. I left it there. That was going to be Friday night. That next Tuesday, a few days later, she's grabbing up on my thigh. We're holding hands. It's like, God. And, okay, so my bad. I'm kind of bad at telling stories. I need to be a little bit more timeline, you know? I am working. Like, I'm going to go get a book on storytelling because I actually need to get better at that, being a content creator. And so, okay, so that was Friday night. So then Saturday night, I'm like, she's out of my head. I said my piece. I told her I would date her. She didn't reciprocate. It's okay. We'll be friends. We'll chill. Literally, we work out Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Tuesday night, she's up on my thigh. We hold hands. And then I get in my head about it. So after that whole situation, I get in my head about it. I'm overthinking it too much. I'm like, okay, what can I say to make her laugh? Like that whole thing. At the end of the day, and it was like 2 weeks of me overthinking. At the end of the day, I was doing it for nothing. I was overthinking for nothing. Any advice for anybody? Be yourself, period. If you have a girl that you like, yes, you will think about her. Try to not think about her as much as you can, but just be yourself around her. Like for me, I was trying to like have lines ready in my head to like try to make her laugh, just stupid things, you know?
Yeah, I think like a lot of us as guys, like we have this ideal of like women, right? And we kind of we're all equal, right? But we can kind of put them above ourselves a little bit, and we think, oh, like they're not gonna want to like interact like the bros want to interact. But like realistically, we talked about it, like your partner should be like your best friend.
100%.
So you kind of have to be that authentic version of yourself,
100%.
and like you might, if you're like edgy. Like maybe you do need to censor like a tiny bit at the start just so you don't like offend somebody. But if you're not, like you I would say just go for it. Cause like us, right? We were talking about too how like it's the little quirky things that we don't like about ourselves. Yeah.
That people fall in love with. And I love that you said that the other day. I love that Wolf said that it's the small quirky things that you fall in love with the other person. It's like for me, the extra, because I am extra. My personality is very extra. If you, I'm not like the average person. I would say I'm very like extra, but more with just like my loudness and my expressions. You're
an extrovert.
Yes,
an extrovert.
Yes, and yeah, and that's something extrovert. So I made a video. I also told you this, but I just want to tell them. I made a video a month and a half ago telling a story about how I was at a bar. I went to go talk to this girl, and we talked for about 2 hours. After talking for about 2 hours, an hour and a half in, she told me that she had a boyfriend. So after she told me she had a boyfriend, I told her, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to use this situation, and I'm going to just ask for advice. And so I was asking advice questions, and she told me that she thought I was gay. So whenever she told me that she thought that I was gay, I was like, really? So I took that, and then she was like, you're very extra, you're very flamboyant, you're very blah, blah, blah. So I made a video on it, and I asked people, should I be myself, or should I like be a little bit more turned down than my 100% authentic self? And people in the comments were like, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. And I put a poll on Instagram, and it was like 80-20 to be yourself. But I
that's still like wild that people think don't be yourself too.
Well, okay, I don't think it's don't be yourself, because I said, should I be more
like reserved,
nonchalant?
Okay.
And, yeah. And the people that were saying don't be more nonchalant, I looked at their profiles, they're like Giga Chads. They're like all built, they were good looking, you know. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it out. So then with the girls, the friend group, the two girls and my friend, when we would go to the gym, like the first week, I was myself because I wasn't trying to pursue anything yet. But then after that week, whenever I started liking her, that next week, whenever I told her I liked her, or I told her I would date her, that's another thing. I didn't tell her I liked her. I told her I would date her. I think it's very different. Like I want to take her on a date is basically what I was implying. And
we make like fluffy wording like that. Like we ask people questions in non-direct ways when we are afraid of the rejection. Like we're all guilty of that. Like you don't just go up and be like, damn, you're hot, let's go out. You're like, hey, I think you're really pretty. Would you like to go on a date sometime? It's like you give the option because you're not confident in yourself. Not saying you should demand stuff, but like that word choice, like that's kind of more of a like ultimatum. And I know like I've done the same thing. And when you think about it, like we're kind of like at fault in the situation for like giving an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Like when you and I met as like me coaching you like friends, right, at the place. Censor. But
Censor.
But
not sponsored.
But it's not, I'm not worried about like, oh, like is he gonna text me back? I'm like, yeah, we're going to go work out and it's going to be fun. I wonder when we're going to sort that out. And then we both like get lost in our own things for like maybe months even, right? Before we worked out for the first time. But then we did it and it was good. And it's like, yeah, like I think the reason girls like will fall for that like Giga Chad like game type stuff is it's a projection of success. Like a successful person like you focused on their grind now. You don't have to be on you do have to be on your phone all the time, but you don't have to respond to personal things all the time because you prioritize your work and whatnot. And that like gives the game, the like waiting after you see their message to reply, that gives the perception that you have better things going on, but you don't actually. So like, I think a lot of dudes like, that's why a lot of relationships, I think, don't work out well because a lot of dudes play these types of games and girls do too. Like we all look at the texts and don't reply right away, even though maybe we could and we want to, but like we're thinking about it too much.
I actually started priding myself into responding when I see it. Like I'm not kidding. I don't give a fuck if I like you at least a little bit. I respect you enough to not be like, I'm not gonna text you. Like if I see one of my friends text and it's literally 2 seconds ago, I'm responding. I don't care. I think
we all get insecure about stuff like that. That's just societal. Like think about when you were a kid. Like when I was a kid, I would call my same friend every day after school. And like it wasn't like I was calling a cell phone. Like I was calling the house phone. So his parents pick up every single day. And I'm never like insecure about that when I'm like a kid trying to just play with my friend. So why as an adult am I like insecure about like, oh, this girl who I think's pretty, like I'm going to send her a DM. It's like, well, first of all, if you know her in person, like call her. Like what if you like actually act as a autonomous person who does what you want as opposed to like conform to these things? And I will say easier said than done. Like
100%.
Like I'm not
100%.
I'm not preaching.
No, you can preach, but the thing is preachers don't listen to everything that they say, obviously from the Catholic Church.
I'm just saying I make all these mistakes too.
Yes.
I've just made them a lot of times, so I have all these analyses of them.
And I love that. And I can't wait till I'm able to have more experience. Because that's the thing that I've also come to realize. Age is like fine wine. When and I'm ready to age. Like I'm only 22. Which is crazy to think about.
Little boy.
I know, dude. I can't wait till I'm 28. If I'm still making videos, okay, I gotta keep this clip. If I'm making videos at the age of 28 and I'm not in a point in my life where I'm happy, stop. Because that's the thing that like this whole consecration stuff brings me joy. It does.
That's awesome. And I just want to point out, like, you looking forward 5 years and only like feeling joy about it and excitement, That's like what a healthy brain should do. And I think a lot of us aren't in that. And we're caught in this like, well, I'm going to work and I'm doing this and I'm going to hang out. But if you can think ahead and be positive like that, I think that like goes a really long way in like motivating you. But also it's just a sign like you've actually like put the time, because that takes sacrifice. You have to put the time to like think about what you need to do, the actions you need to take in order to like be successful and start working on them, because otherwise you're going to think about the future and be like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared of that.
Yeah.
But if you know your plan and you're taking action every day, you're like, yeah, 5 years, it's just going to be growth.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy to just think, like think even just a year ago. Just a year ago, it's like the night and day difference from the person that you can be in a year.
What'd you weigh a year ago?
Like 460, maybe, something like that.
That's wild.
I think I started off last year. I started January of last year at 515. So in about a year and a half, I've been able to lose about 200. No way. Okay, I gotta fact check that.
Let's double check that math.
I gotta fact check that because that sounds a little crazy.
Pulling out the Abacus app.
I'm pulling up my Twitter. Oh. I had like goals. Oh wait, do I?
I was making.
I didn't write it down.
Do you know what an abacus is? I was making it.
No.
It was a pun. It's like the first calculator, the like rack with the balls that slide across for counting.
That's funny. Okay, so 2020. Okay, so we're talking 2023. I'm talking 2022. Early 2022, I weighed, 515.
Late 2022 though, like a year from now, a year ago, because we said a year ago.
Okay, wait. No, but I've lost 215 pounds in a year and a half.
That's ridiculous.
No way, I have.
That's crazy.
Actually. I have. No, that I'm looking at like January 2nd, 2022. I weighed 515. I've lost 200 and close to over 200 pounds in a year and a half. Bro, see, this right here is that moment where it's like the fruits of my labor. 200 pounds in bro.
That's amazing. Like, bro, consistency. You're killing it, dude.
Okay, so a year ago, we're in October. The weigh-in I see 379. No way. Wait, so from January to October of last year, I lost 140 pounds.
Jeez.
What, dude? I need to make a video on that.
It's almost a me.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I've really plateaued, huh? I started, not plateaued, but it's more muscle building. It really is.
Well, and when you start off really heavy, it's exponential.
Easy. It's easy.
It starts super fast, and then it levels out.
Like, 100%. Okay, so going into that, let's talk about my goals. So so the main reason for this video was to set up a good plan and a good trajectory moving forward, because I think I'm at a point where I can really start focusing on what I want to do body-wise, ideally. Like what I want to do. Because obviously I want to lose weight, but I also want to gain muscle and maintain my muscle and make sure that I'm not losing that. Yeah. And of course that comes with muscle building or strength training, protein. But I want to have a set program. Like I want to have a program to like, I follow this. If I do this, I will have this body by this time, you know?
Okay.
So currently, as of Friday, I weighed 307 pounds. And that was Friday. Okay, so I weighed myself October 12th, 23. The goal for me is December 31st, 23 to be 280 pounds. That's the goal.
Okay, so 27 pounds in 2 3/4 months.
Very doable. Extremely doable.
Doable.
You think hard?
I don't know. It depends on like the rate of fat loss right now. Because you are at the like point where it's gonna start slowing down because you're not like super overweight anymore.
I've been within 300 pounds by 10 pounds. Like I've been in 310, between 300 and 310 pounds for the last 2 months.
Oh yeah, but like that's just your prioritization has been different. Yeah, and like creatine will add a lot of, especially like the more muscle mass you have, the more weight it's going to add. So
could you imagine what weight I'd be at if I didn't take creatine? I'd probably be at like 290 at least.
Yeah, around there.
I will also say this weigh-in. So I'll be completely honest with you. I'll break the. This is the first time that I'm going to talk about this publicly. I also don't even know if this video is going to go up fully, if I'm keeping it a buck with you. But
always can edit.
Yeah, but I would want to leave this part in if I do, because I don't know if I want to do, because that's another thing. So with my YouTube popping off or doing better than it was before, I feel guilty uploading not quality videos to a certain degree.
Yeah.
It's like uploading a podcast that's an hour, going from short 60-second videos to an hour and a half. That transition is going to be fucking few and many.
Yeah, know? I think, yeah.
But the reason why I kind of see it in my head is, yes, at first, it will not be like a few thousand people watching it. No, it may be 100 people watching it. But if I just continue to do it, if I can just continue to do it and get that viewership that way, that will be, I just got to be okay with the slow growth, just like the shorts. Like I've been doing shorts for a year and a half, and it's only been in the last like 3 months that I've seen the exponential growth.
Mm-hmm. And like I think like, well, you see a lot of YouTube channels. Like the main person will have their YouTube channel, and then they have like the side channel for like podcast, long form type content. But also, I mean, I don't know how YouTube analytic works. You would be better. I just would wonder how long form and short form on the same channel would affect the analytics. But I feel like if you like separated them out and like, you know, made the podcast playlists and then had the short form, I feel like that would be okay, unless I'm just completely wrong.
No, you're pretty right. I still have some contemplating to do with it for sure, because I do want to do more. Because if I want to do highly edited YouTube content, I shouldn't put it on the same channel as podcast. Mm-hmm. But I also don't like the idea of just doing a podcast channel and not having, I don't know. I need to think about it. But regardless, what I was referring to earlier, we were talking. I don't remember what we were talking about, and I was gonna tangent into weight. There was a point that I was gonna touch on. I don't remember.
Social media related, like YouTube related, like 2.5 months, 27 pounds. I
don't remember.
Okay,
it's okay.
It'll come back.
Yeah, hopefully. Probably not, but. So 280 pounds by the end of 2023. And the big thing is just the muscle gain. Yeah. Because yes, I have been between 300 pounds and 310 pounds for the last 2 months, but I look better. I look more vascular. I look and feel better. Like today, bro, and what I'm wearing right now, like I think I look good. You know, I think I look good.
You look good, bro.
Thank you.
I'd kiss you. You know, no. Just kidding.
Leans in. cut to like cut to the hub. But yeah, it's only been like the last month that I genuinely feel like I think I feel and look good, you know?
So this is really cool. I think a lot of people don't know this, and it's like useful to know. So like when you start really heavy, you're going to have that linear drop off. Like, cause you have so much excess body fat that your body, like, it's smart. It knows you're like dying when you have that much body fat. So, and it knows you don't need that much. So it like starts shedding it real quick. But now you're at the point where you're like healthy. So like I've noticed with myself at least, and I think most people function like this, you kind of like stick at a weight and change body composition there. And then if you're trying to lose weight, you'll drop to another weight, and it's like people think they're plateauing, but you'll kind of just stick in that weight because your body wants to, and your composition will just change while you're at that weight.
And that's what I'm going through right now.
And I think like a lot of people should be aware of that, like, because you should, just be aware it's working. Like you sit in those points for sometimes months at a time, but your body is changing. And like you said, you'll notice, like, if you actually look at yourself in the mirror or feel performance differences in the gym, as long as you're like seeing small changes or getting stronger or better in whatever like fitness aspect you're doing, like you're golden. You're on the right path. It's just, we tend to like take a step up, sit there while our body changes, take a step up.
Yeah. No, and it's just a matter of knowing what you're doing, trusting the process. Don't worry about that scale. Cause yeah, me a year ago, bro, if this happened to me a year ago, I would have spiraled 100%. Cause there were videos that I posted back in the day where I was like, I haven't lost weight. I don't know why. I was like, not crying, but like I was upset because I didn't like lose weight, I think. And they're still out there somewhere. I've posted like 600 videos at this point. I don't know which one it was, but it was me talking like I was frustrated that I didn't lose weight for a week. So me a year ago would have been like upset about a month of not gradual change, but I know that I'm doing the right thing for the most part. Don't get me wrong, my diet could be a little bit better, but I'm also saying that because when I think a little bit better, I'm thinking like strict chicken, broccoli, like cut to the T, exact what you need to be doing. But for me, I just like, I keep a mental note of my calories and my protein. And those are the big two things. Like I don't write it down or anything, but I just like have a general grasp, and I try to eat at a deficit, you know?
And that'll work up to a point.
I remember what I was going to talk about.
Okay, go.
I remember what I was talking about. So I was going to say for my weigh-in. So this weigh-in, October 12th, 2023. I think it was October 11th, actually. It was October. No, it was 12th. It was early morning. This weigh-in at 307 pounds was after a day of eating, a day of drinking water, like usually, and I didn't work out before my weigh-in. So it was off what I usually weigh in at. Like usually when I weigh in, it's the previous day I don't drink as much water, I don't eat as much, and I work out in the morning. Mm-hmm. This day I didn't do it. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I didn't do it is because I kind of wanted to wait till week 75. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like, I could wait an extra like 12 hours, and I would think I would make the weight under 300, but I want to wait a week. Mm-hmm. That's why if you go back and watch that video, like I was very like uppity and like happy about, like I was like, I'm okay, because I know come next week or come this coming up week, come Wednesday or Thursday, because I wait on Thursday so I can edit for post on Friday. Come Thursday, I will be under 300. As long as nothing crazy like my ankle breaks or some stupid thing, I'll be good.
That's exciting. But like going back to that other thing, like you dwelling on like making sure you had the heaviest weight there so you could like cheese the system in a way, like that's not cheating. Like if it motivates you, like it's your fitness journey, you know? Like that's one thing I think a lot of us like get in our heads about is like, it's your fitness journey. If it motivates you, like that's good.
Yeah.
You should do that. But also like what I was going to say is our bodies fluctuate a lot. Like, I mean, I fluctuate like 5 pounds a day.
100. So, no, if anybody were to weigh in morning, no breakfast, no nothing after they use the restroom. And then at night after they eat, drink everything, it's a good, like there was one week where I weighed in like extremely heavy. Like I think it was like 8 pounds different from like the previous week. And I was like, I want to weigh myself again. So I weighed myself like later in the evening at night with my friend because we were talking about it. And it was like another 10-pound difference. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. And you have a large like frame.
Yeah.
So like the bigger your body is, it's water. It's just mostly it's water.
Yeah.
So like you have so much like mass, just like a 300-pound person, you're going to have twice the variation. It makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a 150-pound person. I have 5 pounds. You're a 300. You have 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? Like
exactly.
Perfect.
Oh my God. Could you imagine at 615 pounds, I had a fluctuation of 20 pounds?
And that, I think.
Oh my God.
I think that freaks a lot of people out, dude. I think a lot of people get dissuaded because they see those types of things. And even if you're not 600 pounds, like some people just fluctuate crazy. Like some people will just fluctuate 10, 15 pounds in water weight if they like don't drink any water all day and like they just have a crazy weird metabolism or something. And like you can be 200 pounds and fluctuate like maybe not 15. That could be an outlier, but like if you dwell on that number so much, like that'll freak you out is all I'm saying. Like think of your weight as that range.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question. Metabolism. Is it possible for you to speed up your metabolism, or is that just hope?
Yes. So muscle tissue is the, I want to say, second most caloric requiring tissue in the body.
The more muscle
right?
you have, the more you use.
Yeah, if I have 10 pounds of muscle and you have 15 pounds of muscle, but we both sit on the couch at the same time, like the same amount of time, bruh, my fucking words.
You're actually fine. You sound
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna burn, 50% more calories than when you're just sitting there. I mean, not really. We have all our other metabolic processes, but if you isolate just for the muscle,
everything else equal. Muscle, the higher muscle will lose more.
Yeah, and it's a straight ratio. Like your body needs to fuel that tissue so it doesn't atrophy and die. So if you have like double the muscle, well, that's going to take double the maintenance calories in regards to the muscle, not in total. You're not eating 2,000 and then you put on 50 pounds of muscle and you're eating 4,000. But like, well, you might actually, that could be an accurate like ratio. But all I'm saying is,
can you say that ratio one more time?
So like if you put on 50 pounds of muscle mass, you might need, in an extreme case, you could need 200,000, not 200,000, 2,000, an extra 2,000 a day for someone who's got a crazy metabolism. I mean, that's not for a lot of people, but like for someone with the crazy metabolism, yeah, like for someone whose body doesn't want to be that big, because we all have these genetic limits, right? Like that's what steroids are for. It's pushing past that genetic limit that your body will let you get to. So like, yeah.
Is there such thing as, okay, 3,500 calories in a pound. If I go and eat 3,500 calories over my maintenance, am I legitimately going to burn or going to gain a pound? Or is that also just like,
no.
I remember watching a video and they were saying that there's like such thing as, it's been a while since I watched that video, but it was basically like, it depends on, there's a lot of variations with it.
Yeah, a ton of variables. So like theoretically, if you had a perfect digestive system and absorbed every single calorie and your body decided like none of that was waste, theoretically you could, but no, you're not going to get a straight like transition. Like it's for you to gain, you can gain a pound of fat in a day. You can.
Oh, I did back in the day.
But you have to sit there and eat so many calories.
The point where you like will be so tired.
It's not just 3,500 over to gain a pound of fat.
You got to BMR plus.
Mm-hmm. And then like also, well, no, like if you hit your calories and like your maintenance and then you add 3,500 calories, that's not just going to translate into straight fat, like 1 pound. Because like your body, it has a propensity for storing fat. Why are some people...
Propensity?
It has a propensity means like...
Likelihood, high likelihood.
Yeah. Likelihood towards.
Yeah.
It directs towards that. So like I have a fast metabolism, so I stay leaner on the amount of calories that someone else my size would gain body fat on, right?
Gotcha.
Because for some reason, I require more calories. Now, maybe that's my digestive system. Maybe like the way I process calories, for instance, maybe I have a propensity to store sugar as body fat. Well, if I eat 2,000 calories of sugar versus 2,000 calories of fat, like maybe my specific body will store that 2,000 calories of sugar like much more efficiently as fat, which is a bad thing, right? Like efficiency as in like it's going to turn it all into fat.
And this is the thing. Your body will hold different things differently.
Yes. Like think about someone who is legitimately like gluten intolerant. Like it's just carbs.
That's crazy. Are there tests for that?
For what?
For seeing how your body will hold things separately.
Like, I believe there are.
Could you imagine knowing, okay, my body holds sugar double the amount than carbs. So I need to completely avoid sugars and just eat carbs instead. Like obviously it won't be like that exact thing, but
There are tests to figure out food allergens and like highly detailed.
Go ahead.
And you can like extremely change your gut biome and like modify it in a way that's going to make you like way more efficient. People get rid of long-lasting illnesses. It's like the body's so sensitive, and we eat all this like super processed food. Like not being processed doesn't make it bad, but if you eat a McDonald's cheeseburger, like what's the quality of the meat, you know?
Yeah.
And you are what you eat. Your body is built out of food. So when
your body's built out of food.
So if you eat a chicken breast, it only makes sense like
you're becoming fucking.
It's just that's straight muscle. Like you're just building out of like nice lean muscle. Whereas you eat a McDonald's cheeseburger, like there's fucking sawdust in there. There's like who knows?
Employee's hair,
you know,
toenail.
3/4 of it is fat, not protein. So like, I forgot where I was going with that, but
you are what you eat.
Yeah, you are what you eat, and yeah, we're all just different in how we process things. So like, for some people, like if you eat a bunch of fat, like maybe 7-Up makes you bloated, but I'm fine on 7-Up. Like it's a different way of processing the 7-Up, because if we process it the same way, like we would both have the same outcome.
Yeah.
And all of that's like gut biome related, I think.
I love you, bro, so much. Oh my God. I'm so happy we have conversations like this, because stuff like this has really opened my eyes to like the amount of possibilities there is with fitness, and the
Let me go one more. There's another factor that like a lot of bodybuilders leverage.
Really?
Yeah. So they do shows, right? And a bodybuilding show, you get shredded. Like a lot of people don't understand like that level of leanness. They think like, oh, they see a 6-pack, but no, there's a difference between like an 8% body fat guy and a 3% body fat guy.
Oh yeah.
When they look like an anatomy chart, like that is unhealthy, and your body knows it. Your body knows you're dying. Those dudes don't feel good on stage.
They look damn good though.
Yeah, they look. That's my sport. I love that. You know, like. But anyway, that when they come out of that competition, their body's in starvation mode.
Yeah.
So what they do is they'll do a recomp phase. So that recomp phase is going to be like eating in a specific caloric surplus that isn't just going right up to maintenance, because your body's used to such little food throughout your cut that like bumping up the food slowly over time and having your body in that starvation mode, it's going to slowly change it out of that starvation mode and change it to a muscle building mode, because it knows it's getting enough food. So if you stretch out that phase, you can add a lot more muscle a lot more quickly.
Really?
Yes.
Like a slow progressive influx of food calorie wise, instead of just a drastic jump.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets more technical than that when you get into like actual like how long should your recomp phase be and like all this stuff. But yeah, basically it's just like slowly increasing it up to keep your body in like a happy state, because like if you go over from starvation mode to just binge eating, your body doesn't respond well to that. Yeah. That's why you see all these bodybuilders that blow up and get super fat right after their shows. I mean, maybe you don't see all of them. I'm into bodybuilding, so I do. But like they put on a disproportionate amount of fat really quickly, and then they talk about that being bloated and feeling terrible and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, because you went from starvation mode to like into like just binge eating basically.
Woof. And anybody watching, that this is something that I've come to realize the last like 3 months, and I don't know why it's taken me this long to realize this. When you feel, the biggest thing that I've come to realize is if you're able to avoid having a fog head, like a cloud head, you're so much happier. And that comes with like drinking water. It's so cliche, but drinking water, getting enough sleep, and not having as much distractions. Like the dopamine thing that there's a lot of things. I don't know if anybody else is like on this side of TikTok, but there was a point in time where I was on like a side of TikTok where it's like today's society is very much like your dopamine receptors are so fried because it's so easy to get dopamine from social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so because of that, I completely like avoid porn now. I don't masturbate. I try to stay off TikTok. And I gotta say, man, I do not get fog brain almost at all anymore. It's night and day. Like you just feel so much better.
I mean, dopamine system is what addiction's built off of.
Yeah.
That's the circuit that addiction is. So like, you know, social media works on addiction. Like their whole thing is like, how much time can we get them to spend on the app and like create FOMO? And like, what is addiction? Like
create FOMO. Oh my God.
Well, what is addiction?
That's exactly what it is. That's
Like,
exactly what they're looking for. They're looking to create FOMO.
I need to hit my vape because like I have a fear of like not. It's kind of like FOMO in a way. And then it becomes like physiological, and then it's bad. But
physiological, like body.
Yeah, like your body becomes addicted to the substance, and
Gotcha.
like you reach homeostasis at a different point. And homeostasis.
I thought that was a plant thing.
No, that it just means like balance, equilibrium.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
What am I thinking of with the plant?
I think homeostasis means equilibrium in a biological system, but now that I say it out loud, that sounds wrong. But I know it means equilibrium.
All right. Sure, why not? Oh, dude, the body's such a crazy thing. It really is like a temple. It's like the more work you put into your temple and you build it, the prettier it'll be.
Yeah, and like going back to what you were saying, like a lot of fitness is just to feel better, right? Like we talk about health and longevity. That's a lot of people's goal. We talk about like me bodybuilding, like I want a physique to look a certain way. And like we all have those individual goals and whatnot. But the biggest benefit I think people don't realize, and then that you find out after, is like
you feel happy.
Feeling good physically. When you know you can jump really high, as weird as that sounds, and like you know you can land and it's not going to hurt, you feel good about yourself.
Dude, you feel good. You feel real good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. This is cringe. I don't think it's cringe, but it's not cringe. I love dancing, and I didn't realize how much I like dancing up until recently. Like I like it so much, and it's not even like I'm okay, but it's just like feeling the beat, you know, like feeling the beat through my body, just doing a little move, and I couldn't do that before.
Yeah,
because I was like I would try to like move, and my ankle would be messed. Like I had all these issues, but it's just the things that you're able to do when you are genuinely healthy, and that's why like BigBody, the line is start living, because you truly are not. What is it? The like Nike's Just Do It. That is Nike's. What would that word be?
Slogan.
Thank you. BigBody's slogan is start living, because whenever I was 6'15", I was alive, but I wasn't living. But now, like I'm truly living. Like you're alive, but you're not living when you're so big. You really are. Like you just go in your day to day, but you're not enjoying life. You know?
Yeah, you're tired, right? Like that's the other thing about the feeling good. Like you just have more energy. Like if you're fit, you have more energy. Your body's more efficient with energy. So you have more energy to put on the things you want.
Yeah.
So you feel better and you can achieve more because you have more energy to put onto your priorities. So you're like, wait, I just did double the work of last year because like I feel better? Like what? And it's like it builds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God. Okay.
Yep. Getting back to it.
getting back off this 50-minute tangent. Okay. Goal is 280. The thing. Okay, if I want to lose, we'll do this whole calculation. Because why not? So if we, well, actually we won't, because I just recently did this. What would you? I want to do a plan, workout plan. I'm working out every day. So with me working out, Monday through Friday. Oh, sorry. We'll do week starts on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So with each day, 7 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
of those days, how many days do you think that I should be? Because if I'm the workout regimen that I'm doing right now is going to Planet Fitness for about an hour, hour and a half, and then walking afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a cardio every day plus a weight training.
Mm-hmm.
So with the weight training, what should I be doing to maximize my strength, my muscle building?
Yeah, let's talk about what the actual goal is. Gross strength. Okay. So
this is goal.
Well, I would let's do
and just
like
so I don't have to edit. This is goal. Let me get the picture.
It's a quite jacked person. Like you'd be like, that dude's jacked for sure.
This is, and just so I don't have to edit. This is the goal.
So like, what level of intensity would you say your weight training sessions are with the group? Because you've trained with me, like you know what like 100% intensity is versus what?
I lost the leg footage, the leg workout.
Damn.
Yeah, it was such a good workout, dude. It was such a good workout, but it was like 2 hours. I don't know if the camera just got corrupted or what happened.
That sucks.
But it was, yeah, dude. It was such a good workout, dude. It was such a good workout. There's so many like moments in there that I had in my head. I literally like, okay, so like I would keep an eye on like the time, so like I had a kind of time frame of like good clips. I had like 6.
That's sad. We'll keep doing it. It'll be good.
Yeah,
we got it.
Absolutely, but it's
that does suck though.
Okay, so if that, oh my god, and that whenever I fell. Whenever we're doing the leg extension and I fell on the ground because I've had like the last set. Oh my god, dude. That was so good. So if that's 100%.
That's 10 out of 10.
I would say I'm probably like 70 with them.
Okay.
But the things I talk with them more. So like I'm there for an hour and a half. It's probably like what we do. It's like we're there for like an hour and a half and we do like 3 to 4 workouts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so similar volume, but intensity is lower and rest time is a lot longer.
A lot longer.
Okay, you need the intensity to be up a little bit.
Okay,
I would go for 80-90%.
Okay,
those 100% days will wreck you. Like you kind of want
80 to 90% every day.
Yeah.
Okay. And then muscle group wise. How many times, if I'm working out 7 days a week, muscles, if I'm working out muscles, how would you even phrase that? If I'm working out to build muscle every day, 7 days a week, how would you?
You 100% want to go to the gym and hit weights 7 days a week. I mean, I do that, but that is suboptimal for muscle growth.
Okay.
Just because like it gives you no recovery time. Yeah.
What's optimal, 5?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Let's do 5.
Okay.
Other days I'll just do cardio.
Mm-hmm. And if you just love it, like 6 is fine. Like as long as you get a good rest day.
We'll do 5.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we'll leave Friday, Saturday to just cardio.
Okay.
So Friday, cardio. Saturday, cardio. Okay. 5 days a week. 5 or muscle group wise. Should I be doing 2 leg, 2 upper body? Like what split should I be doing?
Well, what is your weak point? What do you legs? So let's do legs twice a week.
Okay.
Do you like to start your week with the hard thing or with the thing you love? Any task. Do you like the hard thing or would you rather start with? I would
rather get something over and done with and be done with it.
So Monday's a leg day then.
Sunday. So Sunday through Thursday.
Oh yeah. So Sunday's a leg day. Unless, do you think about the week in like days of the week?
I would rather think about it Sunday through Thursday or my workout.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, because it's the Friday, Saturday, my rest days.
Easy.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because I do think of the week Monday through Saturday, Sunday, but workout wise, I'll start thinking about it Sunday through Thursday because then I get Friday, Saturday off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll do legs there.
Okay. And then should I throw in legs on like Wednesday or Thursday for the second day?
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for the other 2 days, push pull. Okay. This is something that everybody can learn because I do not. When people say push and pull, push press, pull lats, right?
Mm-hmm. Just think pull is going to be the back of your body. Push is going to be the front of your body.
I have never heard it said so perfectly. I don't know why I have never thought about that, but that's exactly what it is.
Except for the arm. Except for the arms. Because like your bicep is a pulling muscle and your tricep is a pushing muscle.
Okay, bicep, tricep.
Yeah. So think
Gotcha.
My back pulls and so does my rear delts and my traps and hamstrings and I mean glutes are kind of different. I guess they're more of a push, but like that's irrelevant. Upper body, back pulls, and your biceps help with that. And then upper body, all of this stuff, delts, chest, all that stuff, shoulders, push along with your triceps.
Okay. So whenever people say push pull days, like they do separate them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna be doing a push day, it's like bench press. What other exercises are push?
Yeah, any pressing variation. So incline, flat presses with dumbbells, barbells, machine presses, right? Hammer strength machines that
shoulders.
You
would that
press.
Be press?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shoulder pressing. The accessories you'd throw in on a press day are going to be like lateral raises, tricep push downs.
Forearm press.
Forearm you would do just whenever.
But would that be a push or a press?
It's more active on a pull day because it's much more active when you use your back.
Cool.
When you're like trying to do a pull up or a row or something, your forearms will get tired.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so people separate the two so that whenever the muscle is not as fatigued, right? Like if I'm doing a push day, the muscles used for push day are different from the pull.
Yes.
Okay.
They're analogous, right? Yeah, analogous, opposites.
Okay. And
to each other.
It's kind of related but a little separate. Whenever it comes to the eccentric and eccentric breathing wise, can you describe the best way to breathe whenever you're working out? It's like whenever you're doing bench, right? You're eccentric or something. I don't know.
Eccentric.
Eccentric is going down.
Mm-hmm. Concentric.
Concentric?
Yeah, going up.
So eccentric, concentric?
Eccentric.
Eccentric, concentric.
Mm-hmm.
Eccentric, concentric.
Mm-hmm.
Eccentric going in, concentric going out. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's pretty easy.
Or lowering phase and like pushing phase. It's an easy way to break it. Like on a squat, the eccentric, you're lowering the weight. On the concentric, you're pushing the weight. Same on a bench press. Like and that's going to be most things.
What about if you are on I don't even know what you call it, but like the handles.
So concentric just means your muscle is contracting and shortening. Eccentric means it's lengthening. So on a chest press, right, I'm here, I'm full length because my chest is at full length. I'm stretched out. So I'm going to shorten it during the concentric phase, and I'm going to lengthen it through the eccentric phase.
Okay. Okay, so push, should I do 2 legs push, 2 legs, or 2 weeks? Like
so we go legs, and then we will go, well, since we've got 2 leg days, we're going to do a heavy leg day, like a strength type leg day, and then a volume type leg day. Or we could split it up into a more quad focused and a more hamstring focused, whichever of those sounds better to you.
For me, I think it'd be easier to do quad and then.
Okay. So on our quad focused day, let's start with that right here.
So quad, leg.
So that's going to be your squatting day. You're going to squat on that day, just back squats. We're going to get that like locked in because those are like if you keep your like flexibility in your hips and knee and all, it's not bad for you. It's like one of the most efficient exercises and whatnot. Okay. And then, so that's going to be the primary thing. And the primary thing with that is like, well, since we're doing a quad day, it's going to be a quad focus squat. So we're going to be as upright as possible and let the knees come as forward as possible within reason.
Within reason.
Yeah. If you have knee pain, obviously, then we're going to not do that. But we can definitely also find ways. Like, we did the hack squat machine.
Yes.
Where your quads fried after that.
Absolutely.
So that actually, if you're focused more on hypertrophy, so that's probably going to be like the second thing we do today in the squat day, because the primary is going to be strength, like sets of 5 on a squat, trying to like slowly build the weight up so you start to be able to squat heavy. And then you're going to do volume sets on like the hack squat. So you'll do sets of 12, like 8 to 12, maybe more.
Okay, I would love to like. Let's do this, and then we'll talk about hypertrophy and muscle, and do that here in a second. Hypertrophy.
So this, you just want the rough like exercises and whatnot, and what days of the week?
Yes.
Okay.
And also like exercises and like what exercise I can do for those specific days, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then muscle building versus, you said
like maximal strength.
Max strength. Okay. So legs, quad, and then the other one, what's quad and?
It's going to be posterior, so hamstring and glute dominant day.
Glute. Okay.
So like on that day, we're going to do a deadlift variation basically.
Okay.
So whether that be just deadlifts or stiff-legged deadlifts.
Do you recommend hip thrusts?
Hip thrusts are all right. If you have a hip thrust machine, those it's just the range of motion on a hip thrust is pretty short.
Okay.
So a lot of people do swear by them, but also like if there's a machine that will give you a more of a stretch, because a lot of the hip thruster machines like are built so you can go all the way down.
Question, what time do you usually go to bed?
Well, I mean, it depends because work, right? So I wake up really early for work, so I'm up at like 4:30 on days when I open. So I try to go to bed at 8, but like that's what I say. But no, realistically,
you go to bed.
Realistically, 9, 10, and then like
every day.
Around there.
Okay.
I do. Sometimes I stay up later than that. If I don't have work, I'll stay up till like 12.
Okay. Do you work every day, Monday through Friday? Or
nah, it's variable.
Okay, because I would like for you to come to the Planet Fitness that I go to and just like be like, okay, this machine can do this. This machine.
Yeah,
can do this.
no, I would do that.
Just so that and we get a workout in there.
Yeah,
and then you can just walk me through like the machines that are good.
Yeah, Planet Fitness.
Do you think it's that bad?
No, I'm sure it's fine.
There's a lot of stigmatism with like Planet Fitness,
Well, yeah, people, yeah. It's an entry level. It's not a bodybuilder's gym. So like anyone who's like got bravado about it, like they're gonna talk smack about it basically.
Fair enough.
People will talk.
So Sunday legs, we focus on quad.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday legs, hamstring, and glute.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday will be some sort of upper body variation.
Mm-hmm.
How would you break up 3 days of upper body variation?
So Monday, since this is our deadlift day, let's do like back. So pull. Well, do you want to do more of a push pull type thing, or do you want to separate it out a little?
Whatever you think would be optimal for muscle building.
I think in this split we could do like a back and bicep, chest and tricep, and then a shoulder day.
Okay, so Monday back and bi.
Mm-hmm.
So back, bi. Tuesday,
chest, try.
Chest, try. And then just for reference, back, bi, and don't say it. Back, bi is push. No, pull.
Mm-hmm.
Pull. Chest, try is push.
Mm-hmm.
And see, guys, I'm learning here. This is like I'm like genuinely learning, because I have like, if I were to like go on Google for 2 seconds, I can like, because I watched a lot of videos on this, and it's like it's in my head, but it's not like at the top of my head for me to be able to like teach people this.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to teach people. Like I want to be able to like, let's say you're like a friend of mine, like I got you, big dog. We'll make you a plan. We'll do this. Like I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So Okay, and then Thursday you said deadlift?
No, shoulders and like accessories, anything you want to throw in, anything maybe you missed in the week.
Shoulders, forearms.
Yeah, calves maybe.
Calves, ankle.
So mobility type work, your like rehab type day. I mean, you should do your mobility
Every day.
Yeah, but like if you have like certain things, if you want to like get more flexible in certain areas and like the gym has a kettlebell or something you can use as stretch, that would be a good day for that. But it's just shoulders is hard. It's just a small muscle group. So you can go pretty hard on shoulders and still have like gas left in the tank to keep going on other stuff.
Okay.
But also like from an aesthetic perspective, shoulders make a massive difference in like how you fill out clothes and how like it's also how wide you are at the top. Like it really exacerbates V-taper.
Absolutely. Okay. So hitting all of these. So Sunday, leg quads. Monday, back bi, which is a pull. Tuesday, chest try, which is push. Wednesday, leg, ham, glute. And then Thursday, shoulder, forearm, and accessories. What other accessories should I be hitting that I'm missing on the other days?
So when I say accessories that you missed, I mean like say you were scheduled to do leg extensions this day, but like you didn't get to it.
Gotcha.
So, because you'll be fried after shoulders. That's just anything you miss, that's your catch-up day because the load is less that day.
Gotcha. Okay, so but if I don't miss anything, I'm good?
Yeah, and you won't be like, oh, I still want to work out. You can do a hard shoulder workout and like do some calves and be done.
Okay. And so with this split, Sunday through Thursday, 2 leg, 1 push, 1 pull, 1 shoulder, 1 forearm day. So 5 days a week. Is there any sort of muscle group? Oh, abs.
Oh, abs.
Thursday abs.
Yeah, so throw in abs on that day.
Okay. And so is there any sort of muscle group I'm missing here?
No.
Okay.
No, because I mean, these are broad things, right? Like leg day on quad day isn't just quads. Like when you're going to do a hack squat, like your whole leg's going to be sore, but it's just going to emphasize quad.
Emphasize quad.
So like when you do a stiff-legged deadlift, right, your back's working to hold the bar in place. So you're not just doing hamstrings, you're doing like your whole body. Same with a squat. Like you're not, even if you're focusing as hard as you can on the quad, your whole body is still working. Yeah. You know, it's compound movement.
Okay. Gotcha. And so how many workouts? Okay. Before we get into what I was about to ask sets, reps, that whole thing. Let's talk about hypertrophy, muscle building versus max strength. When it comes to hypertrophy and muscle building and that whole shebang, if I'm trying to optimally build muscle as fast as possible, what should I be going for?
So initially, let's start rep ranges. Rep ranges, you want to be around that 8 to 12 rep range. Intensity should be pretty high. Like I think the science says maximum muscle growth isn't achieved necessarily at full failure, meaning your muscle just won't move it anymore.
PR, or
yeah,
3 RP.
It's in that 3 RP. So that like around 3 reps left in the tank to ultimate failure. But you have to understand how to judge what ultimate failure is too.
I'm still learning that for sure. Because I can go to failure where like I literally can't move anymore, but I need to be able to like the mind muscle connection of like, okay, I have another 2 or 3 left.
Yeah. And so that with time, you just become better at estimating. But if you don't know right away, all you do, you just go to failure. Boom. Now you figured it out. Now you know what you can do, how many reps you can do. Because say you don't know. I'm doing incline chest press with dumbbells. I pick up the 50s. I don't know. I've never done the exercises before. I'm just going to go to failure. Boom. I hit 20 reps. Well, if I only do 12 reps, that's a RPE 2. So 2 reps in reserve. Or, 8. No, that's a RPE. Yeah, 2. So 8
Is it
reps.
RP? Reps in RP. Reps in
RPE. Wait. No, there's two of them. I'm just mixing them up. Reps in reserve versus rate of perceived expenditure.
Let me write this down. So reps
in reserve.
in reserve. And then what was the other one?
Something of a rate of perceived expenditure.
Which is like percentage, 80%.
Yeah, I don't know if rate's the first word.
But just
it's
80% of your max.
Yeah, it's just perceived expenditure. Both the numbers are like the same. Like they're both out of 10, and they both
is
are
reps in reserve RP. Why is it RP? RR?
Oh, I don't know about the abbreviation, bro.
Okay.
I'm dyslexic. I'm just talking about the thing. I don't know how to spell anything.
Do you remember whenever we were at the gym and we were talking to that guy that was deadlifting? He said that he does reps in reserve, like 2 to 3 reps in reserve, like we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was using the abbreviation RP.
RPE. I think it's rate of perceived expenditure.
We can.
Yeah, we could just look it up. It's not rate though. That sounds wrong. Because we're gonna try and bench reasonably heavy.
RPE.
Yeah.
RPE.
Yeah, and it's something perceived expenditure. But they both are like, the scales are pretty much the same. So an 8 RPE, that's just, it's probably technically wrong to use that if we don't even know what the thing is. Just think about how many reps. Subtract that number from 10. That's how many reps you have left in the tank before failure. So you want to be about RPE 8-ish, 7, 8-ish for muscle growth.
Rate of perceived expenditure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Rate of perceived expenditure. Sorry.
So that means you are perceiving your expenditure. What is the expenditure? Like, is out of 10, RPE 10 means you're 100% expenditure.
Gotcha.
An RPE 8 means 80% expenditure. But people just use the terms interchangeably, as you can see. And they kind of just use this scale. But most of the time they do mean reps and reserve, I think.
Okay. So, because I have seen the science behind this, where science says optimally, the best way to build muscle fast is for you to have 2 to 3 reps in reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know about rep wise, so it's best to be repping 8 to 12 with 2 to 3 left.
Yes.
Okay.
So if I want to do a 12 rep set, that means I would fail with that weight at 14 reps.
Okay.
So you have to be able to accurately judge.
And that's where the math comes out, where like you max and then like you subtract however much and then.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you don't need that much math. Do you know how many reps you could do on like a bench press for a 225 roughly?
At least 20.
All right, 275. Just an easier number.
What is that? Another 25?
Yeah.
Probably like 15.
So.
No. Probably like 12.
So.
I'd want like 10. Hit 10.
Exact. We'll go. Yeah.
Actually, I feel like those numbers are off. 22, 25, thinking about it now, is actually a lot.
It doesn't matter the number, but say 275 for 15, right? So if you did that for 12, that's 3 reps in reserve, perfect muscle building. But what if you're feeling, tired that day and you do it for 8? Well,
you still had 2 to 3 reps in reserve.
No. Now you have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, RPE 7. So that's not going to be effective. You didn't push yourself hard enough. You didn't hit the intensity level.
Okay. So
but a lot of people do that.
Tired, you gotta be able to push yourself to know you're legit to failure.
Yeah, like these numbers are completely reliant on actual failure. Not what you think failure is. It's when
oh my god,
you can't press.
I was getting in my head. I didn't realize how much I was getting in my head. Like I would be like, okay, I have like 3 more or like 1 more, and like no, I don't. Why am I saying that? And then I would get another 4. Like it was literally like, okay, I have 1 more, and then I'd be like, no, you don't. You have more, because there's. I think we talked about this, the 40% rule, where whenever your brain is already saying you got to stop, this is uncomfortable. That's at 40%. You just have an extra 60%. To go.
Yeah, and also in the gym,
I love that.
One of the main factors you improve on is neuromuscular efficiency. You just get better at using your muscles. So if you always have that mentality of like, I'm going to stop when I think I am going to stop, you require that massive stimulus, that actual drive to failure and failing for your body to be like, oh, like, let's get stronger. Let's get bigger. Sometimes, so you can't just, I'm just saying what I meant to say is if you never push it to that failure point like you did, right? No, I actually have more. If you just quit when you're like, I have one more, you never will know where failure is. So you're never going to get optimal progress.
Yeah.
Because you can't train there because you don't know where it is.
And just so I have a number in my head, I think I'll do 8. I think the number I'll shoot for is 8 reps.
So I will combat that with a different approach.
Okay.
I want you to go for something with 12.
Okay.
That way we're going to do multiple sets, right? So if we have 3 sets, then if you go and you hit 12, perfect. You did it the first set. Boom. Second set, you're tired. You only hit 11. That's okay. You're still in that 8 to 12 range and you failed. So obviously you went hard enough. And then last set, you only get 8 reps. That's fine though. It's still in the range and you still failed. So, but if you drop it to 8 and then you're tired the next set, then you just did the second set and got 6 reps. Well, now you're in a strength set. Realistically, you're doing less hypertrophy, more strength building at that rep scheme.
And when you say hypertrophy is, could you explain hypertrophy?
Just building muscle.
Okay.
Making muscle building like size the priority as opposed to strength or endurance.
Okay. Strength or endurance, muscle building. Okay. So making it look better.
So
over strength or endurance.
Damaging the muscle the most.
Okay. There it is. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Hypertrophy, whatever. Damaging the muscle, I need to switch my this. I don't know why because I'll be able to use my notes on both my laptop and I don't know why I'm doing paper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm way quicker typer, so let me just switch over to here real quick. So hypertrophy. And thank you for being patient with me.
Of course.
How do you even spell damaging the muscle?
Can I use the restroom?
Absolutely. Right in here.
Cool.
To the left. Okay. So damaging the muscle. So damaging. And while he's going to the restroom, I'm going to go ahead and try to bring what I have on this chart. And I'll show you guys this. I think I'm just going to upload. We've been going for an hour 20 already. Goddamn. I don't know if I'm going to upload the full. I mean, I might as well. I think at this point, I think I'll just do a different channel. I think I'll just do a different channel. Because then what I can do is I can just clip this up to like a 20-minute video. Or I could just do shorts. Because I think what I'm going to do, I think a good idea is doing the BigBody, Big Dog channel as a edited, not even highly edited, but an edited version, short form and long form. It doesn't have to be highly edited. I wouldn't mind posting some like the video I posted today with me and Wolf working out, like just an edited version of that. Like instead of it being an hour and a half workout, it's just like a 20-minute workout session. And then posting the full unedited version on a different channel. Yeah. I think that's the plan. Okay. Damaging the muscle. What was it? Damaging the muscle the most. Damaging the muscle the most. Okay. So muscle building versus max strength. Okay, another thing I want to ask him is the endurance. How do you develop muscle endurance? How do you develop muscle endurance? Okay, so while he's in there, I'm going to go ahead and switch over he's back. I'll switch this over at a different time. Okay, so
hypertrophy came to me in the bathroom while I was peeing. Hypertrophy means to grow muscle. Like to build new muscle
damaging
tissue.
the muscle and then having protein go in and rebuild.
Yeah, damaging the muscle is a factor of hypertrophy. It is not hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is the growth of new muscle tissue.
Hypertrophy is the growth of new muscle tissue.
Yes.
Boom. Hypertrophy, damaging the muscle, or no? I like what you just said.
Because there's factors of hypertrophy.
New muscle tissue. Perfect. Okay. And okay.
So real quick, eccentric, concentric.
Okay, that's another concept I want to write down. Okay, eccentric. So eccentric and concentric, the science is still a little like foggy. Really?
It's not clear that the eccentric builds massive amounts more muscle when you control it, but it is reasonably noted that it tends to build more muscle when you control the eccentric phase as opposed to the concentric. So when we're working out, most people think of a bench press, right? This part's the important part. Well, in a muscle building context, this part's the important part because that's where the most muscle damage happens if you control that and tempo it out and do it correctly and you keep the load in the pecs. Whereas from a powerlifting perspective, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how fast you lower the bar. It matters if the bar goes up.
Yeah.
So they're just different things, you know?
Okay, so eccentric in going down, going down.
Stretching. That's the muscle stretching phase. Because all that working out is stretching under load. That's what you're doing.
Okay, and then concentric
is the shortening or contracting of the muscle.
Okay, so stretching. So like this. This is stretching, contracting.
Mm-hmm.
So bench, stretching, contracting.
And you want to think about like bench, right? Your target muscle group is your pec. So my pec is as short as possible here and as long as possible here for the movement pattern.
Okay, short, long.
Yeah, it attaches in your shoulder. So as you lower,
the actual muscle tissue stretching.
You're stretching it under load, which is causing that damage.
Gotcha. And then what about, okay, so biceps. So this is concentric, contracting, stretching. And then like you were mentioning, whenever we're doing the bicep curl on the bench, you want to be like stretching it.
So the maximum muscle damage is gained at the just touching.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, like we do it every night.
Yeah.
But the maximum muscle damage is acquired at the longest phase of the muscle of the movement under load. So in a bicep curl, right, you'll see like the supported one we do, even normal ones. A lot of people will stop here and go up because this part's the hardest part.
It is by far.
And realistically, if you want to build muscle, you want to make everything as hard as possible for that target muscle group so that muscle responds to the stimulus of I'm not strong enough in my current like situation. I need to get stronger. That's what you're doing, telling your body it needs to get stronger. So if you really elongate, there's more force for one, like if you keep the force correct, right? Because it's a longer lever generally. But also, that's not always correct. But anyway, when you get longer, there's less contact. So muscles are tubes on tubes. So when they stretch, there's less. The muscle can only pull with this part now. It can only pull itself back together from here.
Gotcha.
Whereas if you're only halfway down, it has
more
extra surface area. Yes. So when you're here, you actually get maximum muscle activation because it's making your muscle work the hardest possible. But it just does more damage.
What do you call it? Tubes?
Yeah, they're called myofibrillars, but a tube on top of a tube. And they slide back and forth.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's how they get longer and shorter.
I love how you know all this. You're like a legit professional.
Thank you.
Okay, so eccentric contract. Okay, earlier you said that for muscle
There's
building.
also isometric.
Okay, what's that? Isometric.
Isometric means to contract your muscle in a static position, so holding still. So if you hold that bicep curl halfway
flexing.
up, right here, you're just at an isometric hold because you're holding it still right here.
Okay.
I mean, if you come up here, that's the same thing, but the leverage isn't going to be as great, right? Because this is more force on the bicep.
Is it better to hold it like this?
No, I mean, isometric is the least effective for muscle growth.
Well, how would you describe isometric again?
Holding still. So a plank is an isometric exercise.
Gotcha.
Because you're holding yourself still. The goal is to be as still as possible.
Gotcha.
But you're in a compromised position, so you're fighting some resistance. So yeah, a plank, anything where you pause like halfway or do a pause rep, that is an isometric contraction. And I mean, but we do like pause reps at the bottom of a bench press, right? Because if you keep tension in the pec, that's the longest point of the pec. I'm going on a tangent.
No, please go on a tangent. I love this shit.
Isometric just means holding still. So the muscle is not contracting any further. So it's not getting any shorter, but it's not getting any longer either. So it's holding itself still.
Okay.
Under load.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So we talked about hypertrophy and how hypertrophy is damaging the muscle the most, which builds the muscle. So hypertrophy is the growth of new muscle tissue. Mm-hmm. What is the best way to develop muscle endurance for you to continually have time under tension? Or is it time under tension, I'm guessing?
Time under tension just means you're actively contracting the muscle while it's under load. So if I do a bicep curl like this, there's only that long under load, right? Because I'm tensing the whole time. But if I do a bicep curl like that, there's more time under tension, just because there's more time you're contracting against weight.
So what's the best way to build muscle endurance? To be able to be like, let's say I want to hold somebody for like 20 minutes. Like I want my muscle to be able to be under tension for a long period of time. How would I build muscle endurance?
So with stuff like that, it becomes a lot more situation specific. So if you have a goal, like you want to be able to do this task, like hold someone for 20 minutes, it really the best way to get better at that is going to be doing something similar. Yeah. So
or holding weight for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Like farmers walks and like.
But muscular endurance, as far as like, I want to be able to do more reps on the bench press with 225. Like so say you can do 225 for 12. I know you can do it for more, but say you could do it for 12. So right now you're in a muscle building type area, that 8 to 12 rep range, but you're going to get stronger as you go. And then you're going to hit it for 15. But now once you're above that 15 rep range, then you're more targeting muscular endurance. So if you hit sets of 20 reps on bench press, you're going to make your bench press more efficient in a muscle endurance type way. That's how you do higher rep training, basically.
Gotcha.
So think 1 to 6 roughly is strength, and then anything above 6 to 12 to 15 is hypertrophy. Sometimes 20. It's really person to person dependent. Some people get huge on 3 rep sets. Some people get huge on 25 rep sets.
25?
But the average is
8 to 12.
Yeah, 8 to 12 is the best for hypertrophy.
How do you know that? Is it over time you'll learn?
The science of it. Yeah, that's just what the studies show. Like what's most effective is that rep scheme for putting on muscle.
But how would you know like which one you are? Like either a 3 or 25?
Oh yeah, that's just doing it.
Doing it over and over again and see which one's more efficient.
And even if you are a person who puts on muscle at a 3 rep set, you're probably going to put on more muscle at a 12 rep set. It's just a lot of these huge people,
they have preferences.
They're genetically gifted. And like they'll start doing something and a lot of people aren't that introspective about it. So they don't think about it. And if it works, it works. So they'll be like, this is the way. But who knows if that guy put more thought into it and like did a 12 rep set instead of a 3 rep set. He might be twice the size. You don't know. But because he's already like impressive with his 3-rep sets, he might not change.
He's sticking his ways.
Yeah. So yeah, all that stuff is personal experimentation and just like understanding how your body reacts.
I gotcha. When it comes to being genetically gifted, what would you say? How would you describe somebody that's genetically gifted, like a bodybuilder? Like, what makes a genetically gifted bodybuilder compared to somebody that's not?
The amount, I would say, there's a couple factors. Number one, probably most importantly, the number of effective stimuluses. So, a really genetically gifted person, you can kind of tell them do whatever and they're going to get jacked. And that's just how it goes. So like a lot of those jacked people, you'll see them do weird form that's not like the way I do it, right? That slow controlled stuff, and they're still pretty jacked. They're way more jacked even, but like it just works for them because their body responds to that because they got lucky, you know? But there's also a lot of other factors, a lot of injury levels. Like some people are prone to injury and some people aren't. So that's a really big factor.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so how, and is that just like a prone to injuries? But you can avoid that when it comes to building like a mobility, agility, strength. Like you'll be less prone.
That's a combative tool. Yes. That will.
But you can be naturally be prone to injuries.
Think about like my bones versus your bones. I bet your bones are thicker.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't think you can be naturally born to be injured.
So I have a friend, Mark, he got a CAT scan or x-ray, whatever the one that they can see your tendons in, because he went to go like get his physical for football when he played in college. And the doctor like was like, dude, like this is crazy. Your tendons are double the thickness of a person. Like this is not something I've ever seen before. And
that's crazy.
And this dude was doing scans on like NFL players and shit. So like they are genetic freaks. Like you don't play in the NFL if you're not genetically gifted. Like talent works hard, but hard work doesn't beat talent
naturally gifted
and genetics.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah. And like if you're 5'6", you're probably not going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw a video the other day where it was somebody asking, I think it was Ronaldo, what question, or he asked a question, would you rather have somebody that's naturally gifted or naturally talented? Or sorry. Would you rather have somebody that's naturally talented or someone that's extremely hardworking? And he said naturally talented because you can teach talent or you can teach work.
At the highest level, that's a factor. And like that is kind of like, that sucks. But I mean, it's personal journey, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe you're not destined to be the best soccer player in the world, right?
Yeah.
And you have to accept that. But we're fine with that. We find other avenues that we are excellent at and we excel in those.
Yeah.
But so yeah, injury level and what grows muscle, and then just like how much muscle you can grow. Some people build muscle really fast, some people build muscle really slow. Some people...
Do you build muscle fast?
I build muscle really fast.
How would I know if I build muscle fast?
If you are putting on a pound of muscle a week for...
A pound of muscle a week's crazy.
Actually, that's a lot. If you're putting on a pound of muscle a month...
I was going to say that sounds...
Consistently, you're doing real good because like that requires a lot of like... eating and whatnot. You have to be on everything, but that's a really good rate of growth because when you think about it, that's 12 pounds of muscle a year, and if you keep doing that year after year,
that'd be crazy. I think
that's
now
really fast though.
I'm able to do a pound of muscle easily because I wasn't training my legs nearly as much, so I'm going to have a drastic increase in my muscle leg wise because I'm really training them. Before I was not really training them to the point I was now.
Yeah.
And so I oh my God, I just feel so much like I'm able to like jump around and be happy. Like before, like I would ache a little bit, but not like last night I went out and I was jumping around like crazy. It was so fun. It was so fun. Like I was I was able to jump from here to here for the first time ever. Like I was like this way.
How was the soreness after those hack squats?
I was still sore. I was still sore last night. I'm still sore right now.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. Like it's bad. It was really, really bad.
So if you work out at that, like if you get that sore, that means you like did something. And if you keep like working out that hard, bro, like your legs are going to grow.
Yeah.
And you're going to
without question.
Muscle. And I think a lot of people also can put on a lot more muscle than they think a lot quicker. It's just it's the diet, dude. It's so hard to do that.
And people don't go to fail, like go to really push themselves.
Yeah.
Like I've seen I always like tell people you have to go to like you have to really push yourself, and I wasn't pushing myself. I thought I was, but now I'm legitimately pushing myself to the point where I can't anymore. Because I thought I was, but it was a mental block. And even now, like I get that mental block of like, I have 2 more. It's like, no, you have fucking more. So then I'm like, okay, like I literally like get out of my head and like I just go. And I obviously have more. And it was like in my head, like, no, you only have 1 more, but I have like 6 more, you know?
And I'll just throw this as a caveat. Not beginning, you should not just straight up work till failure.
Fair.
Initially, like you have to understand form.
Yes, 100%.
Because failure doesn't mean like your body fails. Failure means your form breaks. And the precedent of that is you should be neurally able to control your form to that point, to where your form breaks when you fail, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because like when you first started, like it's so hard to do bench press, right? And do it correctly. You feel wobbly because you haven't developed the stabilization muscles. And if they look like they're going to die, they should not go to failure.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to get through the first couple workouts and look like you're going to die.
Yeah. And that's what you're here to help me out with perfecting my form. Because my form is mediocre, maybe a little bit above mediocre. But I think the only reason I'm able to lift as heavy as I am able to with mediocre form is because I'm so big. If I perfect my form, I can be lifting like 125% of what I'm currently lifting, if not more.
Yeah. Who knows? That's another genetic, like how much of your muscle system can you access neurologically?
Yes.
Because like base level, I think the stat is you can access like 40%ish, 30 to 40% of your like muscular strength.
That's crazy.
But like an elite trained weightlifter, their numbers are like 80-ish% around there.
That's crazy.
So like how locked in your brain can get on it like makes a massive difference. But that's also like over years of training, you develop more and more muscular efficiency. And like, so when you think about hypertrophy, right? Like you need to be aware of weight, but what you want to be aware of is during the set, is the muscle that you're trying to grow, that you're targeting, is that what is feeling it? If you feel it, then you're working it, you know? And, but it's easy to slip out of that, right?
100%. Like with lats, you feel a lot in your form compared to lats. And that's why I got bands like you recommended. Because or straps. Yeah. Because it's strictly here and not the form as much. And I've been able to push my and I want to do a lat workout with you because I know I'm not doing it correctly. Not correctly, but I'm sure I can fucking perfect it in certain ways. And I want to be perfect with this stuff.
And the straps for you are going to be extra beneficial because you are a big person, you're heavier. So you're going to like have to use weight that's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to lat pull down with 100 pounds. You're going to lat pull down with 250.
Nah.
And that's hard to hold. You know? Well, it's a hypothetical, but yes.
Yes, but dude, whatever we worked out the other time at Big Tex for the first time, you were doing like 200 and I was able to do like 130. Like you like your lats are way more developed than mine.
I mean, I'm into bodybuilding.
I
that's
know,
important.
but I think that's one muscle for me that I never worked out before, and because it's so like
it's really hard to build the mind muscle connection.
Yeah,
it takes a long time. I mean, when we're trying to hit the pose, the lat spread pose, that doesn't
you said it's
make
the hardest
sense.
Workout.
That doesn't make sense. Like
pose.
I'm still like, how 10 years in, I've been doing it like every day. I've probably hit a lat spread for the last 10 years. I mean, I practice it, you know, all that stuff, but like,
it's still hard sometimes.
Yeah, like it's still hard to feel that. And I mean, that's person to person dependent. Some people can feel their lats like super easy. That's just like my weak spot. But also a lot of people, it's their weak spot. Especially, I think maybe if you're starting real heavy, a lot of people probably do have weaker lats because like you would never even think to try a pull up at 600 pounds. You would never,
Do you think I could do pull up? A legit pull up.
Do you think you could?
Yeah. Do you? No. Do you?
I don't know.
I don't think I could.
I don't know. I would have to see you
Like
try
one
and
of
do a pull-up.
these.
See, that one, I feel like that maybe. For me, these are stronger. Like, because I'm biceps. You can use your biceps more when you do it like that.
What's okay? Whenever you do a push up, what do you work out?
Chest, triceps, shoulders, mostly.
What's right here? Tricep?
That's your front delt, shoulder.
Front delt. Because this has developed a lot.
Well, where? Here?
Yes.
That's your pec. That's your chest.
Also like here.
That's your shoulder.
Shoulder, pec. Like whenever I go like this part right here bulges more than it did a month ago.
Oh, that's going to be mostly your front delt. Front of your shoulder.
Okay. Does that work whenever you do push-ups?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot.
Is it okay? One last thing before because we do got to wrap this up in about at least 20 minutes because I don't want the camera to go over 2 hours because I don't want to corrupt again.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm working out upper body, I've been doing push-ups to failure. So like if I'm doing like some sort of workout like bench or something, I like right after the workout, I'll just go and do like 5 push-ups to failure because I'm so dead. I just do like 5 just to like fully exhaust myself because body weight, I'm way more comfortable than going to failure than other one. Does that benefit me?
I would say yes. I mean, so we're talking about hypertrophy. There's like 3 main factors in hypertrophy. There's muscle damage. There is metabolites. I don't know if that's the right word. There's chemicals your body pumps into your muscles that helps them grow back bigger and stronger. And then there is just like fascial stretching. So when you get a huge pump in a muscle, it feels like it's pushing out of you, right? Like it feels stretched out.
Yes.
It feels full. Like your chest is going to be out here when you get a pump, not in here. So that's a factor. But the biggest factor we think is muscle damage and that affects how much bigger your muscles get. But so does the pump is your body pumping a whole bunch of blood into the muscle to get it the nutrients it needs to repair itself. That's why you get the pump because it's pumping all that blood in. Also, like it's just to refuel it, basically. You damaged it, it's pumping nutrients back in. And then that feeling of like it being engorged, swollen, that's just a side effect. And then it being engorged and swollen, like all your muscles are surrounded in fascia tissue. Think like a fish net, a sausage casing.
Okay.
That just holds your muscle in place. Yes. So
what is it called?
Fascial tissue.
Fascial tissue?
Fascia, maybe. Fascia
tissue? Okay.
And it's just a type of tissue.
The muscle or the tissue around the actual muscle.
Gotcha. It just keeps everything contained. Yeah. So what a knot is when your fascial tissue, because it's sticky, it'll like, you curl, right? And it'll get like stuck together here. And now it's like pulled tight and you feel that tightness. But
is that like how a cramp works as well?
No, a cramp is your muscle like not having the correct ratios of electrolytes, so like sodium, potassium, and chloride. And then, so the way it contracts is it has a thing on the outside of the muscle cell that's like transporting sodium and potassium and all that. It's like a whole chemical process that I'm kind of forgetting. But anyway, basically it trades potassium and sodium in and out between the muscle cell and the like outer membrane with all the nutrients in it and the blood and all that. And if you don't have the correct ratios of those electrolytes, well, they're what conduct electricity, and all your body is using electricity to fire muscles, right? That's why when you like touch an electric fence, you're gonna seize up because you're getting an electrical signal to the muscle. But if you don't have the correct ratios of electrolytes, then the electrical signals are going to get disrupted because they're not there. There's not enough electrolytes they're not put in the right spots to create the electrical signal correctly. So it's not going to fire correctly, or it's going to just repeatedly fire, or it's going to do something. And the repeated involuntary firing of a muscle is a cramp.
Huh.
Because you get a cramp, and you look at your leg that's cramping, you can see it doing all this. It's just the muscle firing. It's just you're not controlling it.
Huh.
You just don't have the correct ratios of electrolytes in your muscle.
Gotcha.
So the electrical signals are getting all messed up.
Gotcha. Okay.
But 3 factors of hypertrophy is that big thing. Muscle damage, metabolites, so the nutrients that get pumped in actually do tell your body to grow it bigger and stronger. And then fascial stretching. So when you get a pump, you're actually stretching that fascial tissue out, kind of like giving it more room to breathe, because that'll restrict muscle growth. If it's just condensed and tight and your fascial's real tight over your muscle and your muscle gets damaged, well, there's like pressure. It's not gonna grow back big. Think about like a tree. If you like, I don't know, like plastic wrap the base of a tree, it's going to affect its growing pattern.
Yeah.
Like they do it, right? They make things grow in different shapes. So it's like that. It's just going to not grow up if there's no room to grow up. Sure. It might still get stronger, but it's not going to get the same size. But that is the smallest factor. The biggest 2 are the metabolites and the muscle damage.
Okay. There's so my brain is so
going to what you were saying, your failure in push-ups, right?
Yes.
So your initial set of bench press, right, is going to be in that 8 to 12 range, and that's maximal damage. So perfect. You did the biggest, most important part, but then you get off and you do push-ups to failure. Now you're just engorging the area with blood and metabolites. So you've already maxed out that damage response. Now you're maxing out the metabolite response. Because terrible analogy. I just shot you a bunch of times. But now I'm coming and you're going to get better. And when you get better, you're going to be stronger. So you're just a muscle. But I destroyed you, right? Well, you're going to get better faster if I bring all the nutrients to you right away. And that's what getting the pump is. So you're maximizing that one too by doing the push-ups after.
So it is good.
Yeah. You're ripping it apart and then you're just filling it with blood to re-heal it, basically. Filling it with nutrients to repair it.
Let me write this.
That is a very intense style of training though. So
I actually kind of like it.
Well, if you like it and it's sustainable for you, it's just a lot of other factors then come into play, like your joint stability and whatnot. Because that's going back to our injury factor. Like, do you have thick tendons? Do you have resilient tendons? Or did you get unlucky and you have to actually moderate how much volume you do? Because if you do too much, your elbows start hurting.
That's one thing that whenever we did the hack squats and everything, I noticed that the weakest point in my leg is going to be right here. This gets sore.
Okay, so that probably, honestly, we could have warmed up better.
And I pointed to my knee, the point where it's leg or
just
thigh.
Right under
leg.
the kneecap.
Yeah, the kneecap. Kneecap itself.
Right below that kneecap is where we tend to get that knee pain because there's that tendon right there. And so when we're coming down, that tendon is under load, especially if we're focusing on quads, right? Because then we're pushing our knee forward. So the goal, well, it's all risk reward, right? So if one exercise always gives you that feeling, that is not the exercise for you because your body doesn't like that exercise. But we might not have been warmed up fully.
I think it was more it was the last one or two on the leg extension. Mm-hmm. Whenever we were doing we're here and we're extending and then we'll go back down. Mm-hmm. I felt it it was it didn't hurt. It was just achy.
Okay.
It was of all the muscles in my leg, that was the weakest point.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And so that's just something to be aware of because your tendons do get stronger. They don't get stronger to the point where your muscles do. I think the stat is 80%. Your muscles can get 80% stronger versus your tendons can get 20% stronger just in total.
Really?
That's why a lot of bodybuilders tear their muscles because they get super strong really fast and your tendons take a lot longer to get stronger. And then at a certain point, the human body just isn't really built to lift massive loads repeatedly. So deadlifting 1,000 pounds, there's dudes that can do it. But
that's crazy.
But if they do it too much, that'll destroy their body because it's so much output.
That's crazy. I think a lifetime goal of mine is to be able to squat 615 pounds.
That's a good goal.
That's definitely a goal of mine.
That's a big boy squat right there, dude.
Because 315 I struggle. Like I can't even get 315 right now.
Well, you could. It's just bracing. It's becoming habitual with your movement patterns to where you don't even have to think about it. To where when you go down for a squat, it's not even like a thought to take your breath and hold it and seal and brace beforehand. That should be automatic. And once that's automatic, then it becomes a lot easier.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I need. I need to get to the point of it's like just automatic.
It's necessary too, because if you want to squat heavy, you need to brace or you will get injured. That's just how it goes. Like your legs are getting really tight and your upper back's really tight because you're holding that weight on. If you lose your brace, your mid body gets loose. So all you have is your like erectors trying to hold you up. And what if you're squatting
Erectors?
the lower back muscles.
Gotcha.
The ones that always hurt for everybody because they all overutilize them and underutilize glutes. But if you have a 500-pound squat on your back, maybe not you because you do have a big frame. If I have a 500-pound squat on my back and at any point, not at the top of that squat, I relax my brace, I am going to injure myself because all that my erectors alone are not strong enough to just hold that upright. I'm gonna strain something.
Yeah.
Because there's no tension here anymore. That brace is where you get the midpoint tension. Think about if a building just went soft in the middle right now.
Fucking pussy building.
It would destroy itself though, right? The top half would fall on the bottom half and it would crumple.
Exactly.
That's what would happen to you if you tried to squat 600 pounds and didn't brace.
Gotcha.
Like straight up that would happen. I think a lot of people don't understand the importance of bracing.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I run into a lot. I'm like, that I'll teach someone how to brace and they'll do it and they're like, oh, that helps so much. And I'm like, yeah. But then they like stop doing it. And I mean, obviously we're all learning. We all have to get taught a billion times because we're like terrible and selfish and don't want to listen to anybody else. I'm like that too. Yeah. But yeah, they just don't understand the necessity of that because that's your injury prevention right there. That's your midsection injury prevention if you want your back to be good.
Gotcha. Okay. So
and lift heavy.
I digitalized the what we made. So Sunday, leg squats. Monday, pull, back by. Tuesday, push, chest try. Wednesday, leg, ham glute. Thursday, shoulder, forearm, abs, plus anything missed.
Yes.
Now, for workouts, leg-wise, what would you recommend quad?
So this is going to be our like strength squat day. So our initial movement, we're going to, whatever you want to do for a warm-up, I do warm up with just the exercises generally.
Okay, question. Should I do, for each of these days, I should have a warm-up and then I should have an actual train?
So, yes. Just think when you start your lift, you want to be warm, whether you need a warm-up or not. So, like, if you've been doing stuff all day and you're warm, like, you still probably need a light warm-up. But just, it shouldn't be anything too much. It's really just to raise the heart rate a little bit, get the blood moving.
But so for Sunday, leg quad day, what would you do? What like to a T? Like
I would do
like starting
maybe 5-10 minutes on the treadmill.
Okay.
Just walking, slight incline, just to get the heart rate up, right? You want it to be not a resting heart rate. You want to be, I don't know what your heart is around, but I like to get
60, 70.
So I like to get mine around like 120, like on the treadmill.
With incline heart rate of 120 BPM.
Mm-hmm. And like keep that for a second. Just get a light sweat. Once you feel that sweat starting to build, you're good. You're warm. And then some hip mobility stuff, some hip stretching, opening. Your like a runner's lunge where you're like opening. So
Heard. Opening.
So hip opening movements. You just want your hips real warm and open so that you're capable of utilizing your whole musculature in your legs. Because like if your hips are locked up and you can't open them, well, you're not going to be able to utilize some part of your muscle in your leg. Same with like all your flexibility issues, right? Like if my ankles are really inflexible, right? So my knee can't go very far forward, so I can't utilize as much of my quad.
Gotcha. Real quick, we're gonna be going over this mark. So let me reset the recording. This video. Well, I decided what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a different channel where any long form content that we do, I'm gonna post on there. Period. Mm-hmm. So the workouts, 2-hour workouts, all of that is gonna go over there. And then I'm gonna edit this down to like a 20-minute video.
Okay.
That's the plan. So then I'll put the 20-minute video on my BigBody Big Dog YouTube, and then there'll be the long form one where people just go and like if they just want to put something on when they're eating or whatever, they can just go and listen to us.
And we can put like clips on like Instagram.
Exactly. And then so I'll clip up that, and then they can go back over to my channel, and then that'll link to the
Okay.
So let me reset this, and then I'll make this will be the video going on that one, and then the video that we're about to do right now in a second will be okay. So today we're gonna be doing my or what is it called? This is a program. Yes. Okay.
Program.
Perfect. Oh no! So if you are watching this, if you watch this all the way through, I love you, bro. Like there's the amount of people that are probably gonna watch this all the way through right now. It's probably maybe 2 people. maybe in 2 years, there might be like maybe 1,000 that watch it. Probably, hopefully not. I need to stop being so. I need to stop trying to be so humble. I need to be